Alright, let's take a look at number 16. They've given us a function and they want us to sketch it so that we can find the limits graphically. So let's take a look at this and see if we can make some sense out of it. First of all, just in general, if we had the square root of x function, this is all we had, and we would know that the square root of x, the domain, has to be greater than or equal to 0, and so this function in general would start off at the origin and just bend up when you get to, say, 9. The y value would be 3. When you're at 4, this would be at 2, etc., right? So anyway, let's take a look at a review of some graphs here. First of all, this part is the horizontal shift, so we're going to have to account for that 3-unit shift, and this is our vertical shift, where it's going to take the entire graph and just shift that thing up by 2 units. So let's take a look at a rough sketch of what this might look like. And so the way of thinking of this is, if you set this equal to 0, this x minus 3 equals to 0. X equals 3 represents our vertical shift. So 1, 2, we're going to go over 3. And then instead of starting the graph on the origin, because of this plus 2 shift, we're going to go up 2 units and we're going to start our initial graph right here. So let's go ahead and graph that up. Of course, just a rough sketch is fine. So the domain of this is x has to be greater than or equal to 3. So just a note here, the graph itself cannot exist over here. Just slightly left to the left of 3, this function is not defined, so that's going to help us with our limit approach. So part A, I guess, right here says the limit as x approaches 3 from the left. So from the left, the function doesn't exist, so the limit does not exist there. There's no value that you can pull off the graph from here. And the limit as x approaches 3 from the right, well, what does it look like it starts to approach? You can see that because of this horizontal shift, it has gone up 2 units. So the limit as x approaches 3 from the right, coming in from this direction, equals 2. And since the left-hand limit and the right-hand limit, since they're not in agreement, the limit at 3 does not exist. And what about the limit as x approaches 12? Well, let's just do a direct substitution. So we would have square root of 12 minus 3 plus 2, and we will get 9, square root of 9 plus 2. So the limit as x approaches 12 is going to be 3 plus 2, or 5. So this is just mainly a review of how to sketch square root function.